We'll make it official. Welcome everybody to Chewy's Cantina's Collector Spotlight. As you can see, we've got Thor with us tonight, and he's going to be hanging out with us, telling us his story of collecting. I know a lot of you guys and gals already are well aware of him, back from the Mafia days, when him and Chuck doing the sales there, and then, of course, in the Cantina days. He's a regular fixture here. He's one of the OG, I guess you could say. So,
yeah, for sure.
So, those that are hanging out on the Facebook side, well, just the Zoom side will have Thor and myself. But on Facebook side, be chiming in any questions you have or whatever you want to hear from Thor tonight. That's what this is all about. So, I think we're ready to rock and roll, man.
All kinds of fun with this, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. We'll chase whatever comes up, whatever questions pop up. So, well, first things first, Thor. How did you get the Thor name? So,
that is actually my middle name.
Is it really your middle name?
Yes.
I just thought it was a nickname. I feel so bad now.
Nope. It is actually my middle name.
Wow.
And what's funny is, so I didn't go by Thor at all.
Right.
Growing up. Actually, people don't know too well, but except for my mom's and my dad's grandparents, or my grandparents, they used to call me JR.
Okay.
Or Jarhead.
All right.
And for the longest time, that was, either that or Mike. And I always thought about, really, really deepening the whole name, what it meant. Like, so I did some research of what the whole name meant. Obviously, we know who Michael is, right?
Right.
And then Thor, who that was, and then Eisenberg. So my middle name is actually, it's German, which actually stands for Iron Mountain.
Oh.
So long and behold, I become, I get older, and then I get back, and then I get into bodybuilding.
Oh, wow.
And so, a lot of my friends from the gym just started calling me by Thor because they knew that was my middle name. And that's kind of how all that kicked off, like as far as my name known.
Right.
So, I was big time into the bodybuilding scene.
Wow. So
probably about 10 years.
Nay. So, dude, we've been at this 2 minutes, and I feel like I've learned so much already about you. So, wow, dude. I mean, so that is your actual middle name, and then and you're in bodybuilding. Wow. I think you and Ricardo could really connect, because he seems like he's a guy that's into that kind of stuff too. I'm sure there's other guys and gals in the group as well. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just now getting back into healthy habits. So that's coming with, finally getting back into stuff and no longer being in school,
right.
All that stuff, being done with all that. Like it
takes a while, man. I know how that is. I've got to get back after it myself. So, but my oldest son just graduated. He's been going to the gym the last couple of days. He's like, "All right, Dad, you going to join me?" I was like, "I need to. So,
got to have that partner, man."
That's right. So, wow. Well, cool. Well, one of the things that, a lot of us have seen, bits and pieces of your collection, through sales, through just hangouts. Obviously, we can see behind you right now and see a lot of cool stuff. But one of the things that we ask folks, kind of getting an inside track into the collector, is, getting in the old DeLorean, going 88 miles an hour, going back in time. And we're at little Thor's house, we're at little Michael's house. We go in, we look in his toy box. Let's say you're 6 or 7 years old. What are we going to find there? What's the toy box full of?
Let's see, Phil. No, he's not on. I was going to have used the force. Anyway, so we go back in time. We'll see. So I was huge into G.I. Joes.
Okay.
G.I. Joes, He-Man, and Transformers.
All right.
So those were my big three.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had the entire collection up until I want to say 87 of Masters of the Universe.
Right.
Every piece. I worked diligently, constantly as a kid because that was the only way we could afford for me to have the toys that I wanted was for me to work and buy them.
Yeah.
So, kind of like our generation, more so going door to door, doing things for people's homes or mowing the yards or all kinds of stuff. So I did a lot of that paper route, you name it.
Nice.
Did what I could to buy what I wanted. My first Transformer, I should say big Transformer. First Transformer was like Cosmos.
Yeah.
So Cosmos like just kind of kicked it off for me. And in that regard, like I always had a thing for the space stuff. And I didn't have a lot of Star Wars stuff back then. Like I had some.
Yeah.
I had quite a bit, just not as much as I did with the Star Wars or the Transformers and He-Man and G.I. Joe.
Right.
But the my first real Transformer, like big one, was Jetfire.
Oh, okay.
And that was unbelievable as a kid. Like it took me almost 2 hours to try to transform that thing. When I was a kid. I mean,
it was a doozy. I remember that one.
Yeah, it was a real puzzle for me. And I'm like, man, I don't want to break this. And I want to say I got it. I believe I got it I got it for Christmas one year. And that just kind of set sail with that. And,
So you said G.I. Joe, Transformers, and He-Man. So obviously
I did have some Star Wars, just not a lot.
Okay. So maybe you got a few figures in the bottom of the toy box that are every now and then
play with. Actually, I didn't play with them a lot. I actually had them on my I would have them on my dresser.
Okay, yeah.
And then on my TV, like because I had my brother and I shared a room, and we had a little TV for like our Atari or Nintendo or something. So I would put them up on there, and that was it.
So of those, all of those, I mean, we kind of know a little bit about you, and we know the Transformers taking off, and we'll come back to that. Do you still collect a lot of G.I. Joe stuff, or no? I know you had some stuff you ran into not too long ago that you were selling.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. Not like I had before. Like I had. Up until probably 88, nearly every piece except for the flag and the whale. I don't think I had. No, my buddy had the whale.
Yeah.
Aside from that, like I had every single piece. I was like the mail-aways, I would have like triples or quadruples of because I bought so many G.I. Joe stuff.
Nice.
And my brother and I, like we created a bedroom full of just G.I. Joe, I mean, war battles all the time.
The war zone. That's all set up.
Yeah.
So how close were you and your brother as far as age-wise?
He's 3 years younger than I am.
Okay. All right. Yes, that's just about right. Yeah. So you have some good play times, and then you have your space as well.
And then we moved near another friend of mine, and we used to have wars out in a big sand pit. It used to be a pool.
Okay.
So there's still probably a graveyard of G.I. Joes in that exact vicinity. I guarantee it, because it was hundreds. Literally. Wow. G.I. Joes, hundreds.
So if we got some vintage guys, give them the location of this pool, and maybe they can go find some.
I guarantee you that you'll find something. I'm sure.
I may need some TLC with those figures just to get them back to health. But well, what about Motu? You still collect any of that, or is that just kind of gone the way?
Well, I because of prices of everything, I did not get back into it. So I do have. Which this is not mine.
Okay.
This is the big boy here.
Oh.
And then way over there, you can barely see it. Kind of like right there's the Snake Mountain, the big boy Snake Mountain.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, those are not mine. Those are a buddy of mine's that he's like, dude, I need you to just sit on these for me. And I'm like, okay.
I'll display
I guess if you, but listen, I've only got so much room, so.
So what line is that Grayskull from?
What is that?
It's not the New Origins one, is it? Because that looks
no,
like
that's the no, it's the real expensive line.
I was fixing to say, I think that's the super expensive line.
Yeah, the Super Sevens or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Super Sevens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I know both those pieces are stupid expensive. So
yeah, they really are. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll keep care of them for you.
Yeah, my toy box is very similar. I'd say a lot of Transformers, a lot of GI Joes, a lot of Motu, and I was sparingly on the Star Wars as well. I think I had Chewbacca, Vader, a couple, but I would say definitely Star Wars was a minimum at my house too. So that's kind of cool. Similar stories. So
I mean, I had I was a big fan of Vader.
Yeah.
And then the Ewoks. Like I liked the Ewoks. Yeah. So I had those were my main ones I had. Yeah. And aside from that, that was like it.
So it's kind of chasing the Star Wars thing just a minute. So now what year were you born? You were born in what?
78.
Okay, so first movie you would have seen would have been Empire, probably, as far as the Star Wars, and then gone back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In which I did see.
Oh, okay.
In the not in the theater, in the drive-in.
All right.
My dad took us kids, which he told me we seen it there at the drive-in. That's the only way I remember.
Yeah.
But for Return of the Jedi, very, very vivid, pissed off 7-year-old. Nice. I was 7 years old. Okay, so my mom, God forbid, and bless her heart, we were watching Return of the Jedi, and in the middle of it, this is at the drive-in.
Okay,
and this was back when Hillsville had a drive-in, where I basically grew up for the most part. My mom went into labor for my sister.
Oh man.
While watching the movie, and we're just now getting into Endor and all the stuff that was going on with all the Ewoks and everything. I'm like, no, we can't leave.
Are you kidding me, Mom? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, so that has a special memory with your family. This Return of the Jedi.
Oh, it's got a piercing stab in my heart when that happened.
You let that hang over your sister's head for years, I'm sure.
Oh, I did too.
That's so funny.
I'm like, all because of you, I couldn't watch the whole movie.
That's right. Oh man.
So yeah,
Return of the Jedi.
So we do get a joke and laugh out of it.
Oh, I bet, man.
I'd be a pain in the butt for that.
Oh man. For those that are joining us on Facebook, during our discussion, feel free to submit any questions you may have for Thor. We're just kind of going through some cool stuff, hearing his story, talking about his collection. But if there's a question you got, don't feel afraid to throw it up there, and we'll get to it as we kind of bounce back and forth. But so, obviously you talk about Transformers being one of those big three. It stuck with you. A Jetfire was the piece you loved. Do you still have that original Jetfire?
So, yes.
Okay.
The Jetfire, the Megatron was always my number one.
Okay. All right.
I always wanted a Megatron. It was elusive to me for many, many years. It wasn't until about 10 years ago that I got one.
Oh, all right.
Maybe 12 years ago. Yeah.
All right.
Seems like about 12 years ago is when I got my first one.
All right.
So yeah, that was just something growing up as a kid. I could never get him. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold. So a lot of like what happened with all my toy stuff is kind of a tragedy, really.
Okay.
So not by fire, but by way of having to sell it all.
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah. So obviously you had your stuff as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and as you talk about the Megatron getting him 10 or 12 years ago, at what point did you kind of come back around and start collecting again? Or just kind of, I guess, document your
So
collecting
coming
journey,
back
if you
around,
will.
yeah. So thinking about it, like, okay, so I was into the bodybuilding stuff, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
Okay, so journey path, um, transforming, transforming your body, right?
Uh-huh.
It's not just, I was also a personal trainer. So on top of that, so I was literally helping people transform themselves to a healthier lifestyle
Sure.
and a healthier way of life. So on top of that, like, okay, so this has a little bit further meaning for me now, realizing, what transformers are and what they can do. So metaphorically,
Nice.
same reason like as what I'm doing now professionally as a counselor,
Right.
um, transforming lives.
Uh-huh.
So it holds an even deeper meaning in this because it is like going back to like when I was a kid
Yeah, of
and
course.
having that innocent heart and really being able to share it in that way
Mm-hmm.
to help connect other people to that type of relationship and like getting down to that level because I know that's where like a lot of trauma happens.
Sure. Yeah.
So bringing that out, like how that can be transforming for somebody to just kind of relate that,
Yeah.
and then people can transform.
Wow. Dude, I didn't know
So
we get this deep this quick. Yeah.
oh dude, I'm just saying that's just kind of a fraction of it.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, so yeah, so having the transformer mentality
Mm-hmm.
in that way, like how we can transform and change. Um, so spiritually, that's what God calls me to do, is
Right.
to
Yeah.
constantly change.
So,
And
so as you're helping people, with the bodybuilding, personal training, obviously now into counseling and just the spiritual aspect of that. So along that journey, you kind of started thinking about or reconnecting with some of those, I guess you could say, those childhood pieces and how it
mhm.
reminded you of your journey. And then, of course, with it being the transformer aspect. So at what point did you start, I guess, using some of your your grown-up income to start, okay, let's get some of these transformers back, or let's get some pieces I never got? What At what point, how long have you been collecting again, I guess is a better question.
So how long I've been collecting again, I would say was when I got that Megatron piece.
Okay.
Was probably about 15 years ago.
Okay.
But I've always been a collector of sorts.
Sure.
So behind me, up above, you can't really see it. So I have a lot of Minnesota Viking memorabilia stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I always collected those as well. So
All right.
that was still stuff that I collect plus cards.
Yeah.
I did do like football cards and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got like a 12-inch Randy Moss back there that's still in the box.
Nice.
I got a one of the small Riddell helmets with Brett Favre's autograph on it.
Sweet.
I have two gold coins that are kind of see right here that are in these that are like limited editions. One's for I want to say this one's Dante Culpepper, the other one's Randy Moss. That Randy Moss one is his rookie year.
Oh, okay, nice.
And yeah, so there's also like a 24 karat gold rookie Randy Moss back there. And so yeah, in that realm, I've still been a collector for some time.
Okay.
So but just it was with different things.
It's very similar to my story as well. Just collected as a kid, and there it went for different reasons. But I've always collected Cardinal stuff, like St. Louis Cardinal stuff. So like on the other side of this door is like our basement. It's all baseball, all Cardinals. And then you go in this store, it's like, oh, Star Wars and Marvel. So it's like this is a lot smaller space compared to what's over there. So,
oh wow, yeah.
yeah. So maybe I need to be in the spotlight at some point just to talk about that mess. But that's
I guess
that's neither.
Sounds like it.
So with the Transformer aspect, I guess is most of your focus on the vintage stuff, the G1, or you just kind of all, because I've seen you get some of the more modern pieces and talk about them.
Oh yeah. So my heart and passion, obviously, with the Transformers is going back to the original.
Sure.
G1 is my like I've turned probably 4 or 5 complete collections over the past 15 years. So that's how I would gain. Like I would gain, buy them in lots or buy them however I could get them, get the whole thing, and then turn around almost get the whole thing and then just purge. But this last time was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to do that again because they're getting so expensive. It's so I only allow myself so much funds because of obviously we have to eat.
Sure. So you gotta put a cap on that somewhere.
I don't want to be a doghouse of a wife, So.
Yeah, we've all had those conversations.
But yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. And it's really perspective and where we put our priorities. So,
right.
If I had to sell it all, I would do it in a heartbeat if I had to, but
right. Yeah. I think that's all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the idea of what it is. And
sure.
But yeah, so the modern stuff. So I really, really, really like the, War for Cybertron series.
Okay.
And like the new studio series 86 movie series.
Now let me ask you, on the studio series, is that the ones that are kind of like like the Transformers Black series, like they're 6-inch, or am I thinking of something else?
So it depends because they do have the red series.
Red, that's what I'm thinking about. The red's the one I'm thinking about. There's all 6-inch.
Yeah. The red series is they're more detailed. Okay. They don't transform, and it's more for just looks per se.
If they don't transform, why bother?
Yeah, exactly. Like I could change my scenery here all I want. I could make them all transform into vehicle mode, and
that's right.
However. So yeah, that's just it. Like it changes. Like you can change however you want with whatever diorama or scenery you want battle going on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the War for Cybertron.
Yeah,
they are very articulated.
Okay.
It's like a smaller version of the masterpiece without them being like any metal to them. Really.
Okay. Yeah.
But they are really, really, they really tried to get to the cartoon accuracy or the War for Cybertron accuracy with them, which to me, they look amazing. And you can pose them in so many ways because of all the points of articulation to them.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, you've talked about the G1 stuff and you having the collections and kind of going through that. Now, the War of Cybertron. I mean, there's been a lot of different incarnations of Transformers since G1 to that. Do you have much of that, or is it just kind of pick and choose what you want? Or are you a completist in all of it, or
kind of just pick and choose? Okay. It's really not a lot of it that I liked. There's a few pieces here and there through like Cyberverse and Armada. Armada I didn't really care for much.
Okay.
Now the Beast Wars.
I was going to ask you about that one. Okay.
Yeah. So the Beast Wars is so okay. So to sum up Beast Wars, all right. Some people, not so many, but some people say, okay, Beast Wars is part of G1. Well, no, it's really not. it's a series in itself. Yes, it is the first first series as all Animorphs. So there's no like vehicles, it's all Animorphs. So but it's not G1. G1 is only season 1 through 3.
All right.
With the movie.
Nice.
And then after that, it cuts out. It's gone.
Okay.
G1 is no more.
It's nice to know those parameters because I collected Transformers as a kid, but it was just like a kid playing with Transformers. Never dove into all that. Now we've got some Facebook comments here now. Jay's joined us as well as Bill.
Howdy.
What's up? Now Jay's got a question for you. He comments on his transforming. He goes, I collect only a few Transformers, but love the Dinobots and Insecticons. So what's your thoughts on those Dinobots and Insecticons, and what's your favorite G1? So
my favorite G1 of all time, Megatron.
Okay, we'll go back to that.
Number one, Megatron. He was always my favorite. Number 2, Jetfire.
Okay.
So those were hand in hand for me. And then I would say number 3 was Grimlock.
Okay, so the Dinobots then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Grimlock. I mean, what's not to like about Grimlock? I mean, he's just so easy to just get along with. Oh, whatever, let's go do this. Destroy this building.
Yeah,
I just want to eat something.
So Grimlock and the Insecticons, obviously those are G1 type colors. And now, how many Insecticons was there? Because I remember as a kid having 2 or 3 of those, but there wasn't too many of them, were there?
So in the series of G1, what is G1? There was 6.
Okay, wow, that many.
So you have Venom, you have Kickback, you have Ransack, Chop, Bombshell, and Shrapnel.
Okay.
Now 3 of them, they didn't play very often in the series at all. Ransack appeared more so than any of the other 3, but they did appear.
Okay.
I think they were more so in the comics than they were with the series. So
nice. So the Transformers, and again, just my ignorance, had a good comic presence as well, just kind of the filling out the story and everything. Obviously, I was familiar with the cartoon or the animation, whatever you want to say, growing up, but not a big comic guy. But it's good to know that they kind of got their universe expanded on with the comic books as well. So good.
Yeah. So it brings up great kind of mix there, because so in the comics, they actually, and back then is when they came out with the G.I. Joe Transformer mix.
Oh, okay.
And so for the longest time, I've always wanted let's do this, like a G.I. Joe Transformer mashup. I would be all over that thing. And so now they're actually coming out with more pieces for that. The first one was a few years ago, which was Snowcat. It was a horrible, in my opinion, a horrible mashup of the Snowcat and Transformers.
Okay.
But the new one that they have coming out made available for next year, for anyone that got the pre-order, which thank God I did, is the His Tank.
That's what I thought I saw. Is it got the Baroness with it and everything? Or?
Yeah. I wish it didn't have Baroness. I wish it had Destro.
Yeah, that'd be a good fit.
Or Cobra Commander or something, because it would almost make sense to me more for like Cobra Commander, only because of the voice.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, they could do that.
Yes. Now, who'd you pre-order that through?
Big Bad Toy Store, I think.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good.
It wasn't them, it was Dorkside. So
yeah, those are the 2 I go with for just about everything if I don't get it through Hasbro. So
yeah.
And it seems like those guys are getting their stuff faster than even Hasbro, which is crazy. So
yeah, sometimes they are. Yeah.
I don't know how that works. So then again, we don't have any of this distribution stuff works nowadays. So
right. I would imagine it just has to do with, okay, soonest it gets to this destination from maybe this side of the states versus that side of the states.
Yeah, maybe. But I would think, Hasbro being the dudes that put it out that they'd have it first, but it just depends.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. Now I know we mentioned before, and some of the guys and the gals in the group are familiar with this with you, but we were seeing your Optimus Prime helmet. Go ahead and show that again if you don't mind, just because some people haven't seen it that joined us a little bit later.
So if people haven't got this and they are big into Optimus Prime or even Transformers at all, this I'm going to say is a must-have.
Must-have. You've heard it here first, folks.
So
a must-have. Look at that. This is sick. Wow. And you're right. It puts that old one to shame that used to come out with the movies years ago.
By far.
So we meet again.
I love it.
More than meets the eye.
And look, it doesn't move.
No, man. Yeah, you figured sling around on your head. That's firm. Just got to create a suit now for it, Thor.
Transform and roll out.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was asked a couple times. Like, you could do a suit? I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, they're commenting. That's awesome over on the Facebook side, so they're loving it. So.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I had to, as soon as I got it, I'm like, yep, I'm taking this thing out. I gotta get batteries for it, putting it in there. Yep.
Yes. So seeing that role playing piece there, and those who know you also know that you've got your Vader suit. So how did you get into that, man? Because that's not a cheap hobby. Is building a suit like that? Because has yours been approved by 501st yet, or no? Or is that
so? It is.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So it's 86% accurate.
Nice.
So yeah, it is like I have a full voice changer to add to it on top. You know that sets the bar for it too. I do have a breather, so I have that availability. I got fans that run inside of it.
Wow.
Try and keep it cool.
Yeah, imagine that gets hot in there. Shoot.
So yeah, it's the saber itself is probably one of the most expensive pieces to that whole suit, besides the cape.
Okay.
So that the saber itself was like $700.
Yeah.
So,
help me kind of, if you don't mind, what did that journey look like for you to get to, okay, what was the first piece you got and said, hey, I'm gonna build this thing. I'm gonna do the suit. And did you buy it in mods and build it, or did you buy a piece? How did it go for you?
So the first piece I bought was the saber itself, actually.
Okay, all right.
So once I bought that, I'm like, more things, just like, oh, what could this look like? What could this be?
Yeah.
And so then I bought the chest piece.
Okay.
And so the chest armor and the side armor pads, that came next. And then lo and behold, the helmet, got the helmet. I got two helmets, actually. I got a Black Series and the other. So, so
what's the big difference in those two between the? I mean, obviously you said it's got the fan, the voice changer. Is that like a different? Like what company, I guess, would put that out, or is it like a thing you've got to build yourself?
EFX.
Okay, all right. So
EFX does a lot of the movie accurate stuff. The other company is Anavos.
Okay.
They don't, like, if you go on there now, you probably won't find anything Vader anymore. I think they stopped producing that about a year or two ago.
Wow.
Maybe even longer than that. I don't know. It's been a while since I've had my suit, seeing what I could get. So a lot of it, aside from like the chest piece or the chest armor and the leg armor and stuff, a lot of it's, you could almost home make it pretty much.
Okay. Wow. Nice.
So you just have to have the right materials for it. Now, as far as like the jumpsuit and the overbibs and other pieces that go to it, those definitely have to try to find.
Okay.
Etsy sometimes might have it.
Yeah.
eBay, maybe. You'd be
Right.
lucky.
Hmm.
There's also a couple of forums I'm a part of that does the cosplay and all that. So they sometimes sell their suits or something like that. So
Now, with your bodybuilding past, and you're a big dude like myself, and you're probably in better shape than me. But Vader's a pretty.
Vader was a huge dude.
So so when you got all the chest piece and everything, so they fit pretty well, or did you have to make some modifications? Or
No.
Good.
The only thing it didn't fit that I bought for it, which I need to re-evaluate my boots, is just the size of my boots.
Gotcha.
So I'm not really a size 13, so size 11 and a half, but I wanted the 13s to make it fit into the suit, right?
For sure.
So
now you said yours is what, 86% accurate according to their guidelines.
Yep.
So does that keep you from, or are you already a member of 501st, or is that what's keeping you from joining the 501st? Or
so the thing that's this is funny.
Uh-huh.
I was actually in the start and process of the 501st, and COVID happened.
Oh,
so
changed a lot of stuff for everybody.
Yes, they were like, okay, we're not doing anything right now. Which the group I was going to become a part of is called the Great Lakes Garrison.
Okay.
There's currently 3 other Vaders in this garrison.
Okay.
So I would be the 4th.
Gotcha.
And where that serves is South Michigan, tri-state area. So we have Ohio, Indiana, and a little bit of Illinois, and then Michigan, south half of Michigan.
Nice. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. So as of right now, do you just bust it out, sit at the dinner table every now and then, or just go to kids' birthday parties, or go shopping in it? Or
actually, so yeah, with that, like Halloween.
Oh yeah. You look forward to that. I get to dust the suit off. We're at
it. Now I would have it displayed had I have a mannequin.
Yeah.
But my wife is totally against having that. She's like, no, you're not doing that because you freak me out every time. So what's funny? Okay, so I don't know if you remember Chuck and I. Chuck still has them, I think, but those little 4-foot stormtroopers.
Yeah.
So I had one sitting over here behind me, and every time she'd walk from the kitchen to the living room, she'd see that thing and freak her out. So she's like, "No, you're not getting a mannequin to be able to display your suit. It'll freak out even worse." And it would kind of could.
So you just got it in storage somewhere right now, or just
Yeah. I have it in a actually it's a lock tote. So
nice. Okay.
So
yeah. I mean, my granted, it's not near the scale or near the the quality that your Vader suit is, but my Chewie stuff, I mean, it's right here on a mannequin right now staring at me.
Yeah. See, that's what I want. I want to be able to display it because I mean, I paid all this money for it.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, and it's just sitting in this thing. Granted, it's a good thing because it's not getting the UV
right.
UV
You're correct.
light hit to it. It's keeping it nice and neat, and it's not getting damaged in any way.
Right.
So, I mean, there is that aspect of it. There is other things that I do also.
Okay.
So we do fundraisers and other stuff that I do. So, which is basically the same thing as what the 501st does.
Sure.
So the part of the therapist that I am, like, I'm able to, because I work for our community. Not the one I live in, but a different one.
Okay.
And I can go there to help kind of do fundraiser stuff or go to the library and like read books, do all that stuff.
Oh, I can Vader over there reading Curious George, the little kid.
That would be so hilarious.
Oh man. What was it one time?
Yeah, I get into character too. So like I actually play into character.
Oh, I bet, man. Golly. Oh, maybe sometime, we've talked about Jay and Jim and I have talked about it at length, trying to figure out a time where we can meet up with everybody or something. Maybe it'll be at some convention. You can come in the Vader suit and.
I would love that.
Yes. Oh, we've got some more folks over here. Let's see. Bill saying RJ. Hello, RJ. Jay asks, do you enjoy opening G1 Transformers? Or do you leave them in the box when you find them now?
So that depends. If it's sealed, I won't open it. If it's sealed, I won't open it. And that's another reason why I stay away from sealed G1s.
Yeah.
And I prefer to have them already open and loose and all that. So I have gotten lucky a few times with some sealeds, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not holding on to this. It's too tempting for me to open it. And
need to move it along and find an open one for yourself.
Yeah, I'll downgrade. That's fine with me. So
because they're toys, they're meant to be played with.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want to be able to play them. Like in front of me, I have all my Seekers hanging. It's just all kinds of stuff here. So.
So what is he saying? Do you enjoy it? Oh, Jay said if we have a convention deal or meetup, he'll come as Slave Leia. So that'll be. I may have to skip that day. We may need counseling after that, Thor.
I think so.
No offense,
maybe.
Jay.
We'll just have to ask a few questions.
Ask some questions of him, and oh mercy.
You see how he's really feeling about that.
That's for sure. Hey, you mentioned the other day in a message when we were kind of setting this up that you and Chuck are getting the gang back together. They're going to do a show or something.
Yeah. So this Saturday we are going to the Kalamazoo Show.
Okay.
There's a little toy show over there. It's like $10 to get in. But yeah, it's like from 9 to 2.
Nice.
So we're doing a little thing over there. He grabbed the tables for us. So
what you're gonna have laid out for folks to buy this weekend?
So I have a bunch of I've got some goodies, so to say.
Nice.
So I have a bunch of $6 Million Man stuff.
Oh,
so like
oh, nice.
Tons of it.
So would you run into a lot or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I got lucky.
That's part of it, man, is getting lucky and finding stuff like that. So
I'm debating whether or not to do the sand crawler. I did, yeah, a nice sand crawler too. It's mint.
Does it still work?
Oh yeah, it works, but I don't have the remote.
Oh,
I can't make it go backwards.
Oh.
But the whole thing is mint. Like the door's not broke. It's got all the stickers, and the stickers are in beautiful shape.
Wow.
So yeah, I got lucky with that one. So I'm toying with it just because we're supposed to go on vacation, or we are going on vacation here in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
So
a little extra money for the vacation.
Yeah, especially with the price of gas and everything.
Oh, it's crazy, man. I mean, we're sound like old people here in a second, but what's the gas like up there where you are?
So it's over $4.50 a gallon here now.
Oh, we just now jumped over 4 again, so we're at 4.09. So
yeah, we're $4.60 some places, $4.65. It's some places was $4.99.
Oh,
so yeah, it's
going to be a hard summer for a lot of folks that are usually running the roads, going places. So
yeah, so we're going to Alabama.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're going to the Smoky Mountains there.
Nice. Okay.
For a week and just getting away from society.
Yeah. Man, yeah, you'll be down in our neck of the woods, kind of. We're in Northwest Georgia, so not too far from.
Oh, okay, it's not too far.
Yeah,
that's probably about a 2-hour drive then.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out what you're doing, where you're at. Maybe we can figure out something. So,
Hey, that sounds great.
you don't want to impede upon family time, of course, but who knows?
Oh no, yeah, we're just gonna do some hiking, and I'm sure they'll get wore out pretty quick.
You may have to hike everywhere. $5 a gallon. So,
yeah.
we're just start walking down there now. So,
Yeah, right. Might get there by the time.
We stirred the pot. Now they're starting telling us what the gas prices are where they are. $4.19 there. Okay. Oh, Bill Espy says love some $6 million man. Jay's like Sasquatch. He claims it.
Yeah, he claims it. Man, I can't believe how expensive that man is, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, so what are you looking at? Because I'm not real familiar with the pricing on. I love them, but I'm not familiar with where their values are.
So Sasquatch, for some reason, with missing the chest piece, is like $250 to $300.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's what I said. That's insane. But that's
so if you find a mint Lee Majors or $6 million man, what's he looking at out of the box?
Oh, well, it depends on which one, really.
Okay.
Because there's different ones.
Yeah.
You have of course, you have the spacesuit.
Yeah.
Which is like, think about the spacesuit. That's like the first episode. Him, going to the moon and all that.
Sure. What do you got there? Oh, wow.
Yeah. A little pump.
Nice.
Even works.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So did you get that? Do you already have that piece, or did you get that in the lot you recently got?
No, I got it in the lot.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of this big stuff too, like his little it's like a rocket, but it's also his like computed stuff, like fills them up and all that. Yeah, just
man, hopefully you have a good show this weekend, be able to move some of that and help out with vacation. So
yeah, that's really the main purpose to it. I'm like, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to make it at first because of work stuff. So
sure, yeah. But we're good. Let's see, we got something else here. Nothing new over on that side. So as you think about your collection, and I think we've kind of already answered it, but would you say that Megatron is probably your prized piece of your collection, or is there something else that comes to mind when you think of your prized piece of your collection?
So my definitely my biggest piece is my prized piece is Megatron, Jetfire probably, and then probably Devastator, because as a kid, like, I had almost all the Devastator, but could never finish them. Like, every time I would go to the store, like, the one that I needed was never there. It was gone. It was.
That's what? How many different Transformers made Devastator?
6.
Okay. Yeah. So what piece were you always?
Most of them, it usually takes like 5.
Yeah.
But he took 6.
So what was the missing piece you always went looking for? It was never there. Do you remember? Hook. Okay. Yeah.
Could never find Hook. Never.
Oh.
Went to Toys R Us. Went to Myers.
Yeah.
Ames. I mean, you name it. It was Kmart. It was
serious.
Yeah. when we had the chance to go for those trips and we went grocery shopping and stuff like that, like, just never found it.
Like, I'll check back with you, Mom. I'm going to looking for Hook.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, they always knew where to find me.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Same.
You go. We'll come get you when we're done.
That's right. You'd be going up and down those same aisles. Okay. Looking.
Oh yeah,
the story of so many of our childhoods. So. Oh man, for real.
Yeah, he was elusive to me for so long, and when I finally got my first Devastator, like, that's.
Yeah. Mark that one off the list. He's staying put. Yeah.
Yep.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So, obviously Transformers is where you're at, and you talked about when you're little, sparingly Star Wars. What got you back into or kind of really got you into Star Wars? We obviously know you're big enough into it to have your own Vader suit. But we see some of the other stuff behind you, and the other guys that have hung out with you in the group know that you have a lot of Star Wars stuff as well. So what kindled that?
So what kindled it was the fact I never grew out of it.
Okay.
I never grew out of Star Wars. Like, I was adamant on the movies. Like, I would go to the movie theaters for every movie.
Right.
Since I could go to the movies, I've gone to every movie. The only one I have not seen in the theater, I kid you not, Solo, and the first 77 movie.
Okay.
New Hope.
Wow. Okay.
So yes, I have watched every single one in the movie theaters.
Nice. Okay. So even for A New Hope, would you classify the special edition as? Have you seen it in the theater of A New Hope, or no?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay.
No. So, I mean, I missed it on its release time, so that's just kind of where I am.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Well, okay, yeah. So with that, because Star Wars, for me too, I had a little bit, and then really dove really deeper into it in the last 4 or 5 years. Really getting into the Mafia.
Yeah, that was a big push right there for me.
Yeah, huge catalyst for my collecting of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the vintage run I've got back there. I know guys in the group and girls in the group have helped me, finish that out. I know Jay, I always talk about it, but Jay helped me finish it with the pop-up R2, and other guys had, sales or said, hey, I got this one extra. So really the community.
Yeah, I'm still working on my last 17. So.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you missing? That last?
I mean, that tells you. Well, I had quite a few of them, and then I sold them to make up some funds for one of our past vacations. So I had to kind of buy.
Hey, those last 17 can help a vacation quick.
Yes. So I need them almost all of them now. I have like Popaloo. I have what is it? The Tomat or Lomat? No. One of the white Ewoks there.
Yeah.
That's part of that. Yeah, Lumat. Yeah. I do have one piece that will never leave my collection. And that one, well, two.
Okay.
In my case, got especially from Papa Chunk. So
okay, yeah.
As a remembrance to him.
Yeah,
but that was I got the Anakin out of his collection. So
nice. Yeah, that's I guess one of the coolest things about the community that was created years ago, whether it's part of the Mafia or Papa Chunk's page or the Cantina. We're all that close-knit group, and through the different things that have happened. From Papa Chunk to Zohan to everything. It's been neat to see how our communities rallied around each other. And just to have those little pieces in our collection that remind us of those individuals, as well as some of the things the community's been able to do are really encouraging. So that's
yeah, it is. It's been really cool and a blessing to see, through it all.
Right.
And it reminds us, just kind of gives us a remembrance that, that person for us.
Yeah. And, reminding us too that life is precious. So you got to make sure you focus on the things that are most important while you still draw breath. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So. Well, man, what else? Anything else you got that you'd like to share with us about your collecting days, or a special piece or anything like that? Or
so I do have one.
Okay.
That is pretty near and dear to my heart, I guess. So some people have seen it. I don't think I've really shown or shared it live too often, or very much, nor the story behind it.
All right.
So my father-in-law, who was like one of my best friends.
Nice.
He and I, the last thing that he made well, him and I made together really was a case.
Okay.
We went and made a special trip to get the wood for this case. It is for my vintage Star Wars case.
Oh, okay.
For my figures. So him and I went and got the wood for it, and made the trip, and he basically made the case from the wood that we picked up. So I'll take a around here. So yeah, so this case is what him and I produced. Basically before he passed.
Oh.
He had it made, and then about 3 days later is when he went into the hospital to have a lung transplant done.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, like, he didn't finish it. Like, I took it and finished it the rest of the way. But this is the case.
Wow.
That he made specially to fit in this corner.
Dude, that's so cool.
So, like, I have, so it is got locking doors on it, acrylic locking doors, two little doors on it that lock.
Yeah.
And so I did the acrylic work to it, and the lights and the mirror backing to it, and he did the rest. So,
oh man, well, that's a special memory. Obviously you have with him, and then that being one of the final pieces that he made too. I'm sure you look at that and think often of him and that relationship y'all had. So or have.
So yeah, that one there is dear to me, and so that's something that will probably, if the figures, not all the figures stay there, like, it'll most likely stay there, but that's just kind of one of those things that will always be able to go with me wherever. So.
And it's cool that you guys could work on that together, and him not pick at you about, hey, what is this for you? Oh, my action figures.
right, yeah. He's like, it was funny. It was like conversation that we talked about, because we had a conversation about doing it about, I don't know, probably 6 months before doing it.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, you think you'd be able to do this? Like, is that possible? Like, and so I got all the dimensions and set it up, and I'm like, this is what it is. Like, what do you think? He's like, all right, yeah, we can make something work. So he went gung ho on it and had it done in 2 hours.
Nice.
I was like, dang. So I'm like, it would have taken me probably 4 or 5 days to do this.
Oh man, I'd be working on it for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
I'm no good at that stuff.
Yeah, so special type of wood and stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
Let's see. Overall, Jay said back when you were talking about never growing away from Star Wars, it's always been there. Says never grew out of it. You don't just stop playing with toys because you grow out. You grow old because you stop playing with toys.
I love it. That's true.
Jay also said you need to stop vacationing.
I know, right? Yeah. Just do staycations. They're much cheaper.
Bill, looking at your cabinet, said impressive, most impressive. So, no doubt. So,
thanks, guys.
Yeah, that is amazing. And that's the thing, I think, with our collections, whether it's something from Papa Chunk or Zohan or that cabinet you made with your father-in-law, you can look at a certain piece in your collection, most, those real sentimental attached ones, and you think it's almost like a portal to a different time or a different memory. Think, hey, I was doing this or that, and that's encouraging. I mean, I don't know about you, but when things are kind of crazy in life or stressful, I can come down to this room and I can just kind of unwind a little bit. I mean, I know I'm surrounded by action figures and fantasy things, but it's just, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be over here in my Ewok village for a little while, So
yeah, that's kind of like what I can do here. And on top of that, like, I'll just kind of sit back, think, what do I want to change?
Yeah,
because I think about it, in self-reflection, right?
Sure.
Because that's something for us, spiritually, myself, believe, we have to self-reflect. Like, what can I change? Not just here, right? But what can I change with myself, or what, or is there something different I want to see and set up? Like, what would I like to see, right? So hence why I did the dioramas.
Right. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
Back here, so back here, this whole section right here is all diorama. And then I got this one that's going to be all diorama also.
Okay.
With the Mandalorian stuff.
Right.
So
is that the big Razor Crest box sitting up there?
Yeah.
That's odd. No, is it still in the box, or have you unpacked it yet somewhere?
I have not unpacked that yet.
Okay. All right.
So
there she sits. There's where she sits over there.
Oh yeah. So I'm trying to debate. I'm debating how I want to do it. If I want to do a sand scene, or because he was around Tatooine a lot.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, do I want to do that, or do I want to have the thing where, like, the scene just before it blows up?
Well, I'll tell you, man, it takes up a lot of real estate. It really does. It's taken over. I used to use this as my desk, this table, but it's taken the table. So now I'm just confined to a little computer desk here in the corner of the room now.
Oh man.
So
that's what I love about mine. My desk here is all shelves. Like,
nice.
That's my computer desk. So
yeah. I've got a little bit, but not much. My Legacy Falcon is just right here, and then my vintage one's right there, and that's pretty much it.
So I almost picked up the Legacy, but I'm like,
that's a meaty piece, dude, and it takes a lot of space too.
Yeah, I would have just hung it. Yeah. I mean, I would have just like I have.
Oh yeah, I see that X-wing. Yeah, is that the big one, almost like the 6-inch scale one that they had at different places? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I had one hung there for a while, and something happened. It came down. That's my thing. I'm always afraid it'll come down eventually, even though if I,
big anchors.
Big anchors, huge.
Especially for that Legacy.
What's up, Ian? Ian jumped in there. Hello, buddy. So, well, good deal, man.
What I like about having the little stud finder, I can. Oh, there we go.
I'll never forget one time I hung the Black Series TIE Fighter, and I used some of those command strip hook deals.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, it's holding fine. So I go to bed, come in the morning, it's barely hanging there by one. Luckily, it never hit the ground, and I got over to it, and like I'd put a little bit of weight underneath it to lift it, and then it popped, and I caught it.
Oh my god!
I don't know what I was thinking. It was one of those late night. Oh, this will be a good idea.
This will work.
No.
I think it'll work. No. Sounds like a great idea at the time.
Yeah, it looked good when I went to bed. Didn't look
good. Right.
So, that would have been bad because it would have. No good at all. So
that would have been a horrible death.
For sure. Well, Thor, man, I sure appreciate you, brother, giving us a kind of inside look into your collector's journey. I know there's so much more that's a part of that, and I know many of us have grabbed nuggets of it along the way, and you've shared with us over the years. But I mean, I feel like I've learned a lot already. That your middle name actually is Thor. I mean, you were a bodybuilder, man, and we all know Transformers is where it's at for you. And we've all been teased with the Optimus Prime head tonight, so
yeah, had to throw that in.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. And we do know that Return of the Jedi will always have a special place in your heart because that's when your little sister decided she wanted to make her appearance into the world.
Oh yeah, that's
always for sure. So, man, anything else you want to share with us? What's that?
You'll have that, and you'll just. I mean, as much as I would love to get back fully into the Motu stuff or more of the GI Joes, I might eventually get to where I pick up the figures, all vintage figures eventually again. But in reality wise, like, I don't know how that's gonna work. But,
man, just the prices on everything vintage is just skyrocketing right now.
Yeah, it really is. So we think about, I guess we can say this. We think about what antiquing was for our grandparents, right?
Yeah.
What that is to us now and what antiquing looks like for us, which is this, right?
Yeah, you're right, dude. So that's
we know that that's right. See, it is
on antiquing on eBay in the action figure category.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's where it is, and it's I think about that, I'm like, it resembles a lot of like what we are doing here, right? And like the passion that we have with this, well, the stuff that they got and picked up and collected was the stuff that they remember as kids having or doing and resembling in their childhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it been work stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
that makes sense for sure. So
yeah. So it's pretty cool how seeing that, how it goes full circle.
But here's the question. We'll close out with this question that everybody's been longing to know about your collection. How many Gobots do you have in your collection?
One
Gobot.
One. And you want to know why?
Why is that?
I picked it up from Jaime.
The purist has one. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he actually transforms into a gun.
I think I remember you guys showing this one night in the cantina.
Yeah. So it's an actual like cap gun.
Oh, it's actual cap gun. You can load the caps in and everything. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I'm like, oh, and it works. I don't know if I have any caps. No, I don't have any. I didn't get any.
We
caps.
don't want you to startle your wife.
But yeah, no. So yes.
Look at there. Wow. So cool.
So yeah.
Man. Well, it looks like my internet connection is kind of going in and out right now, buddy.
So it actually worked. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cutting in and out. It says your internet connection is unstable. Little do they know that's about my life as well. So, but no. Well, man, while I still got you, Thor, I want to thank you for taking some time to hang out with us.
That's what it is.
Yes. So, but yeah, I want to thank you for hanging out with us, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
It was fun.
Hopefully, you guys have a productive weekend at the toy show. So, may have lost it there. I don't know. I think the connection has failed us now.
So as well.
Yeah. So.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's rolling out, man.
Yeah, well, it's in and out, brother. I thank you so much, and we will see you soon while we still can say bye. So,
likewise.
All right, take care, buddy. Thanks again, Thor.
Take care. Bye. You're welcome. See ya.